Hello, church family. I want to let you know that the board met this past Monday night and we voted to move our in-person service to an online service. So we will no longer be having in-person services starting November 22 just through the holiday season for right now. So starting November 22 till January 16, we will be having online church services. And during that time, we will be looking at what the circumstances are, what the restrictions are, and we will make decisions based on when we will be able to come back to in-person. Right now, it's just through January 16. When we talked about this as a board, what I really appreciated is that the board, each one of the board members, we want what's best. Now, we're coming at it from different angles, different perspectives, and we may see things differently, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal. We want what's best. And so right now, we did vote to move in this direction. But what I want you to know is that this can be discouraging when we're open to go backwards and go to online again. And so what I want us to find courage is in this. In Ezekiel chapter 39, God says, when I bring them back from the peoples and gather them from the lands of their enemies, then I shall be sanctified through them in the sight of the many nations. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God, because I made them go into exile among the nations. God made them go into exile. It was because of their disobedience. But God was turning this negative into a positive, that while they were being exiled from their nation, they would be a blessing to the nations around them, because now they were living amongst the other nations. And so he said, they will know that I am God, because I sent you into exile. But then it goes on to say, and then gathered them again to their own land. So I exiled them, and then I brought them back. Almost like he's casting out a net. Like I cast out a net, and then I bring in the fish. I cast out a net, and then I bring in the fish. It goes on to say, I will not hide my face from them any longer, for I will have poured out my spirit on the house of Israel. It is God. The upper room experience, it was God's desire for that to be a national experience, for God to have poured His Spirit out upon the nation, not just an upper room, but it was only the upper room. Those people there that were the ones praying for it. So my point is this. In a sense, we're exiled from the church. Not because God is throwing us out of church, but God is turning this COVID experience into a real blessing. Why? Because while we're not able to meet in church for the time being, you know what that means? That means that every single one of our living rooms is now church, because that's where the people and followers of God are. It also means Paul in the book of Acts, there's a story of when he goes into a community and he's looking for the believers, and they're not in the building, they're down by the river, because that's where church is. It's where the believers are. And so right now we have over 100 churches in the greater Frederick area. And this is the amazing opportunity we have. We can be an encouragement and a blessing to our neighbors, because we can invite them. Hey, you can invite your neighbors. Why don't you try this? I mean, I believe this is where God can use this as a blessing. We can invite friends, neighbors, co-workers over to our homes, and we can study the Bible every Sabbath, once a week. Hey, you want to come over to my house? Let's read the book of Matthew. Let's start going through that. Let's study the Bible together. We could be having Bible studies with our neighbors, with co-workers, with family, with friends, with church members. We can invite them over to our homes, and we can have hundreds of churches meeting in the Frederick County area. I would really encourage you to pray about this. It's something that my wife and I are praying about. How can we do this? What's God doing? Because I believe He is doing something powerful right now. And I don't want to miss it. And I don't want any of us to, because His Spirit's being poured out. We are praying for you guys. We really are. Michelle and I both. I know Tom and Heidi are praying. We are praying. And this is not an easy time. But we serve a mighty God. And He is working wonders. Yes, for us. But His wonders are all around us. And so please, let's put our faith and trust in Jesus, that there is something mighty being done, and that we can be a part of His mighty work. God bless you guys, and I look forward to worshiping with you this Sabbath.